Hey folks, I'm Pocan Joe, and I'm going to be talking to you about G.I. Joe number 1 from 1982. Let's jump into this and find its relevance. In the business, we call this foreshadowing. Our first story from G.I. Joe number 1 is Operation Lady Doomsday. Deep below the Army Chaplain's Assistance School on the U.S. Army base, Fort Wadsworth, America's most super duper elite counter terrorist strike force exists. Dr. Burkhart is on a train heading to Washington, D.C. to both condemn and apparently brag to Congress about her doomsday project. While on the train, being protected by what I can only describe as the Blues Brothers, and giving a press conference. Yeah, I'm not sure why that was happening. That seemed odd to me even as a child. The Cobra troops decide to attack, led by the Baroness, who wants to kidnap Dr. Burkhart for Cobra's evil plans. The Blues Brothers stand no match against the Baroness and her troops, and the Baroness captures Dr. Burkhart and escapes with a Willy Wonka-style balloon and a Russian helicopter, as best as I can describe, and escape with the doctor. While all this is going on, the brass over in the Pentagon are all stressed out about this boogaloo and hatch their first plan. The concept is that if we try to rescue her, Cobra said that they would kill her. For national security, are we kind of cool with this? And of course, General Flag stands up and is like, no. Here, look, listen up, kid. We don't have to try to save her. We just have to successfully save her. Get on the horn and get me G.I. Joe. And everybody's like, yeah, let's do this. Team assembles and what I can only describe as an 80s montage, meeting deep below their secret base in their training facility, and everybody predictably doing what they do because of their name. Even old boy over here apparently taking a nap and underwater like he's Aquaman or something. I'm not really sure what's going on there. That's kind of weird. Team assembles and immediately jump right into their planning session, making one of the most complicated plans in military history, splitting their already small force into two waves of attack. One more espionage and the other one shock and awe. Cut to Cobra Commander and the Cobra troops, who are doing questionable hand gestures even for its own time then. Next thing you know, after some bubblegum chewing, jetpacks start flying and explosions start going off, baby. Anything to get any young kid just super excited about combat and war. It was happening in these next couple of panels. Like legit, just shit kicking all over the place. The brass now informs us to kind of tell us how this plan is going to work, right? So you got like Hawk, and they're going to get their equipment together, and they're going to jump on supersonic fast boat and shoot over there with a bunch of equipment. And why the elite ninja types, CIA types are going to try to, get a little bit of a boogaloo going on inside of the fortress here. We also find out that toxic leadership exists in the Pentagon because they're like, hey, if they don't get out of there in time, or if this mission goes wrong, right, we just dump the files. And, this never happened. Foreshadowing, I told you. When all of a sudden the rest of the Joes show up. And this is where things get kind of weird, even for me. Even as a kid, I kind of saw this. They show up with a tank. A huge-ass tank. And what I can only describe as a modded-out Humvee hauling a howitzer, as crazy as that sounds, and a motorcycle that probably belonged to the former artist known as Prince, with a couple of Gatling guns on the tie. And they start shit kicking. There was a lot of shit kicking in G.I. Joe comic book. Lots of battles for every young man to be inspired by. The Joes get Dr. Burkhart, but surprise, suckers! It was really the Baroness the whole time. So they gotta beat feet back into the fortress and shit kick some more to get the real Dr. Burkhart before they blow up the fortress and head back to the good old US of A and get their 10% discount at the Sizzler for being veterans. Go Joe. Immediately the story cuts into the middle of a story called Hot Potato. And in this particular one, I'm not going to get into too many details. Just know it involves shit kicking some more and then a funny joke on an airplane. And then roll our favorite thing of all about the G.I. Joes, the information cards. All the characters kind of get their little what they are, what they do, right? Their whole data profile, if you will, along with an opportunity to buy some toys and, of course, about the equipment as well. So all in all, G.I. Joe #1 was just a fascinating comic book to read back in the day. Whether it was the Middle East, Cobra, terrorism, whatever the case may be, even the far-fetched plans in the cartoons, I think is what really brought it to life. Every character really had their own voice and their own personality that just kind of fit the name. And you really got your money's worth when you got a G.I. Joe comic book. Hey, if this is something that you enjoyed, please leave a comment down below, hit the like, or even subscribe. Let me know if there's any comic books out there that I can review for you. I have tons of comic books and I need to do something with them other than just storing them. So definitely let me know down in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.